Algebra 1, lesson 108, page 454, square roots revisited. I'm not going to revisit them. Hopefully you know how to do square roots. Just a couple things here, though, just real quick. I'm just going to review real quick. Y'all are like outside your mind here, okay? 2 radical 5 times 3 radical 6 plus 4 radical 8. Okay, this times this. 2 times 3 is 6. 5 times 6 is 30. Okay, plus 2 times 4 is 8. 5 times 8 is 40. All right, square root of 30. All that is 6 times 5. I can't simplify that all. Stays the same. 6 radical 3. This is 8 times radical 4, radical 10. This is 6 radical 3 plus 8 times square root of 4 is 2. Radical 10. 6 radical 3 plus 16 radical 10. Stop. Done. Finished. Y'all are making a mess of this thing all of a sudden. Again. Wow. When you have these things here, please, you guys are killing me again. 3 square root of 30,000 plus 2 square root of 2,000. You're making this so hard, and I just don't get it, okay? Now, just you got to slow down a little bit. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. This is 3, radical 3, radical 10 to the 4. This is 10,000. That is 10 to the 4th. Jade, I don't know where your numbers are coming from on these. If you take out an 1, 2, 3, 4, there's that right there, okay? This is, all you do is you divide that exponent by 2. This is no longer a radical. This is 3 times 10 squared radical 3. 10 squared is 100. Jade, look at this, please. You're killing me. This becomes this right here and this right here. This, the square root of 10 to the 4, is you just divide that exponent by 2 and it comes out of the radical. 10 squared is 100. Okay, over here, 2. Square root of 2. 1, 2, 3. Now watch this. I can't do 10 to the 3. You understand? So I'm going to take it over here. Square root of 10 to the 2. Or square root of 100. And this is 20. Sorry. I can only do even numbered of zeros. So I'm doing 20 times 10 squared. 100 right here. All right, so this is 2. The square root of 10 to the 2nd is 10. That's the square root of 100. It's just 10. It's no longer a radical. This is radical 4, radical 5. The square root of 4, 2 times 10 times 2, radical 5. This is 40, radical 5. That plus that. I don't know why this all of a sudden became super, super hard. Okay? Pull out an even number of zeros and put it as an exponent. Divide the exponent by 2, it comes out as that. Even number of zeros is 2. 2. Divide that by 2, it's 1. Or 100, the square root of 100 is 10. Please, don't let this thing, Brother Dan used to say, walk your log. All right, more in radicals. All right, solve. X minus 2. Where do we go? Plus 3. All right, so here's the deal. Our goal in life here is to get rid of the radical. Before we can get rid of the radical, we have to isolate the radical. It means get it by itself. Get this whole thing by itself. We're going to get rid of that. Square root x minus 2. It's all under the radical. I subtracted 3 to the other side, minus 3. All right, now to get rid of a radical, you square it. Just puberty setting in. To get rid of a radical, I square it. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to square this side, okay? And I'm going to square that side. All this does is drop the radical. Negative 3 squared is 9. I'm going to add the 2. X equals 11. Now, you have to listen here. You can't stop there. Because in the process of solving this, we lose negative signs like right here. Because that was negative, we squared it, it became positive. Now, it may or may not make a difference, but you have to check. You have to check your answer. And we're going to put it in here. In here. 11 take away 2 is 9. Yes? Now watch. 11 take away 2 is 9. The square root of 9 is 3 plus 3 equals 0. Is that true? No. Now, we solved it correctly. This is the answer. But this is called an extraneous root. That means it does not work. That means there's no answer. The answer we get does not work. Okay? The solution is, there is no solution. On this one, sometimes you get an answer, you do everything correctly. This is right. I actually did it right. But you have to take your answer and put it into the original problem and make sure that it works, because we lose negative signs in the squaring process sometimes, not always, but sometimes. So you have to check. You have to check. You have to check. It's not good enough just to put it there because you can do everything right and it still doesn't work. It's not your fault. It just doesn't work because of the squaring process. You lose a negative sign. So let's look at another one. Oh, x minus 2 and minus 6 equals 0. Okay, so here we go. First step, isolate the radical. Radical x minus 2 equals 6. I added 6 over here. Square both sides. X minus 2 equals 36. X equals 34. Nope, 38. Because I'm retarded and I have to add 2 to both sides. So, here we go. 38. You put 38 in here. 38 minus 2 is 6. Right? 38 minus 2 is 36. The square root of 36 is 6. 6 minus 6 equals 0. It works fine. That's the answer. Okay? Please, just make sure that you actually check your answer. Okay? Let's look at some that's a little bit, one more example. I really like these because they're fun. My definition of fun and your definition of fun is, I think, a little bit different, but, you know, that makes my definition right and yours wrong. So let's see. Radical x minus 1 minus 3 plus x equals 0. Again, isolate the radical. Get it by itself. Radical x minus 1 equals, add that, subtract that, 3 minus x. Or, yeah, that's good. 3 minus x. Now I'm going to square both sides. X minus 1. Help me, Rhonda. When you square this thing, there's this thing called a middle term. It's 3 minus x, 3 minus x. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times here is minus 3x, minus 3x, and this is plus x squared. So this is 9 minus 6x plus x squared equals, and I'm going to rearrange this, okay? X squared, okay, minus 6x plus 9. Y'all get that? I just turned it around because I wanted to. Now, what I want to do is I want to get two answers for x, but I got to get rid of this and get rid of this. All right? So, it's going to be, and I'm going to put this over here, if you will, equals 0. I'm subtracting both of these. All that's left is 0. So I have x squared. I have minus 6x, and I'm going to put a minus x with it. That's minus 7x. All right? And I'm going to add 1 over here. I'm going to add the 1 over here. I'm going to subtract the x here. Okay, that's plus 10. So you do your thing right here. Equals 0. It means we're going to get answers for x. There's x. There's x. I have a minus here and a plus here. The only way to get that is a minus times a minus. Yes? It's going to be minus, minus. Okay? 5 times 2. Negative 5 times negative 2 is positive 10. Negative 5 plus negative 2 is negative 7. Not done yet. Right here, let's come up here. X equals 5. X equals 2. All right? Y'all get that? It's not hard. Just combining a bunch of stuff we've done before. We're isolating the radical, and then we set everything equal to 0, solve, get the two answers. Now what do you have to do? We have to check it. It's not that hard to check. Put 5 in right here. 5 take away 1 is 4. Square root of 4 is 2. Minus 3. Plus, what do we put in there? 5. Okay? 2 take away 3 is minus 1 plus 5. That's not 0. That one doesn't work. All right? Let's try 2. 2 take away 1 is 1. The square root of 1 is 1. 1 minus 3. Okay? Plus 2. All right? 1 take away 3 is minus 2. Minus 2 plus 2 is 0. This one works. This one doesn't. That's the extraneous root. It's there. It's the right answer, but it don't work. So the only answer here is x equals 2. You have to go the way. You have to check. You have to look. Sometimes they'll both work. Sometimes they won't. All right? So just be careful. Check your work. Put the answer in and see if it works.